Hello, everybody. I'm here with some very wonderful people to play a tabletop game set in the Warcraft universe. This tabletop game is basically running using the Fate Accelerated system, and don't worry, everyone, I'll explain everything as we go along. And it's set during the time of Mists of Pandaria. Note that this does not mean that we'll be taking place on the continent of Pandaria, just during the time. And I'm here with some very wonderful people, and I would like to have them introduce themselves. So let's go in alphabetical order and start with DoomGoblin. Go ahead, please.
Hello everyone, my name is DoomGoblin and today I'm going to be playing a dwarven pirate named called Captain Bladebeard.
Thank you. And next we have Sir Thompshire.
Hi, I'm Sir Thompshire, and I'll be playing Benjamin Aaran. He's essentially a sellsword that also has some magical affinity.
And last but by no means least, we also have Skoll Shorties.
Hello there, everyone. I will be playing as a ogre pirate known as Buhd because of reasons for his name. He doesn't even know his own name.
That is really unfortunate, but alright.
He just thinks his name's Buhd because that's what everyone's calling him.
Without any further ado, let's set the scene. Booty Bay abuzz. The pirate town of Booty Bay is in an upheaval. A few weeks ago, the renowned auction house announced that it would hold an auction for a mysterious artifact of unknown magical power. Where do they find this artifact? What does it do? Rumors are flying everywhere. More and more characters from all corners of Azeroth have shown up, crowding the city and practically overwhelming its unprepared security force. And we're going to start with just one example of such a character that has shown up. And somewhere in Booty Bay, we come across what appears to be a blood elf. What is this blood elf doing here?
So I have been hired by a noble to get this artifact for him, since he thinks it's way too dangerous to travel to Booty Bay himself. So I've taken upon myself to get this artifact for him.
And where would you be coming into Booty Bay? Or maybe you've been in for a while?
I've been here for the last few days to scout around the place and know that it's safe.
Okay. And where exactly do you think you are right now in Booty Bay? Are you in a shop, in a hotel room, on the street?
I'm outside the inn, essentially waiting for the time that the artifact will be shown to the people.
I see. Well, as you can imagine, the inn is a particularly busy place. Not just with pirates coming in and out, but also with all sorts of mysterious characters. Now, can you roll for me, please, a careful check? To do that, you would have to type /roll for the F plus 2, because that's what your careful is. Okay. You notice that one of the guests over there is emanating a bit of a magical aura, and you can notice that because you are a spellcaster. But however, it is a very crowded scene, and there's people of all different races, some of which you've never heard of before. You assume you're seeing maybe some Pandaran? Maybe? So what do you do?
Can I pinpoint this person, or I just know he's on her general area?
Well, with your current role, you know that he is somewhere in the crowd, and you don't know exactly what he looks like. Obviously, you just sense a magical aura, and you can't even pinpoint exactly what kind of magic. He's somewhere in the crowd, if you want to look or not.
I try to look at the crowd and try seeing who sticks out.
Okay. Can you roll another careful roll for me, please? Okay. With that, you are starting to get closer, but before you can actually reach the the character that you're sensing this magical aura, you stumble across this little fellow, this polite-looking fellow. And he kind of growls at you. He just growls at you.
I try to ignore him and continue to try pursuing said magical user if it's not the orc.
Yeah. As you keep moving, he actually puts a hand on your shoulder. And he says, "Where are you going?"
I ask him, "What does he mean? This is an inn. It's not like I'm entering."
You're out. You said you were just outside. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I say that like everyone around me, I came for the artifacts.
He asked you where you were going, not what you were doing here. But okay. He seems kind of startled that someone would actually admit this, and he growls at you again, and he seems about ready to punch you when another character shows up. If I can find him on my little NPC list. And this character over here. Now, I have a question for your character specifically. Have you ever been to Outland before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you think that this maybe is some kind of Pandaren, since a new continent was just discovered? Maybe he's from Pandaria? You don't know. And he intervenes between the two of you, and he says, "Do not mind my friend. We'll just be on our way." Can you roll for me another careful check, please?
Not very lucky, it seems.
Yeah. You sense something odd about him, but you can't exactly pinpoint what. And the sort of vague magical aura that you sensed in the crowd seems to be coming somewhere around him, maybe, or maybe some other character near him. You're not entirely sure. But this Pandaren seems really odd to you. You didn't know that Pandaren had feathers.
Yeah, that's fair. So I essentially try understanding what kind of creature I'm looking at, since I've never seen it before. And I try to put my hand on my blade in a way to say I can defend myself.
I would watch where you're pointing that. We'll just be on our way. And he sort of grabs the orc by the shoulder and pushes him to move aside and starts moving in a different direction. But you get the sense that he's keeping sort of an eye on you. Like if you try to throw a fireball at him, he would notice.
Yeah. So essentially, now that this problem is out of the way, I try continue to follow the crowd to where the artifact would be held and sold.
Right. Well, the crowd is sort of mumbling about. It's still midday. You see some people going towards the auction house, since that's where the auction house is going to sell this item specifically. And you see them going over there, but the auction house seems to be closed at the moment, at least from what you see from a distance. Nobody is like going in or out or selling anything. Otherwise, you see a lot of people sort of meandering about, kind of aimlessly, looking around. You see people of all sorts of races. Maybe are you looking for someone in particular?
Not exactly. I came alone to get this artifact, so I'll essentially be keeping my eye open for suspicious people in general, and on a bit more personal side, goblins.
Well, as you can imagine, there are Booty Bay bruisers around the place here and there. But unfortunately for them at least, oh, I did not mean to do that. Unfortunately for them at least, they seem to be kind of overwhelmed by everything that's going on. Because there's only so many of them, and all of a sudden Buhd Bay is going through, like, there are tens of, no, not thousands, but there are hundreds of people here that, and they have no idea what to do, how to corral them, and they seem kind of overwhelmed. So you are probably safe, probably.
Can I notice why no one is coming in and out of the auction house? Is it closed? Is it simply barred off?
Yeah, you can. You're a bit far away at the moment, so you'd have to go a little bit closer.
It's not too crowded. I try getting a bit closer to the auction house.
Okay, let me just change the background a little bit because I can do that. Just one moment. Okay. You are now near the auction house. Ignore the picture. There's actually lots of people there, trust me. and
Oh, yeah.
and you see that it is actually closed. The sort of spaces over there are boarded up, and you see a few auctioneers sort of shooing everyone away. Not right now. The auction will take place later. Come back later. Not right now. Despite the crowd seeming kind of restless at hearing this.
So hearing them say that, I try keeping a low profile in a place where I'm sufficiently far not to be bothered, but close enough to know what's happening.
Can you roll a sneaky check for me, please?
And I got a 1 again.
Okay, I'm going to roll to oppose you. Yeah, you see one of the... where is it? Yeah, you see one of the bruisers over here coming to you and saying, "Hey, you heard the man, we're closed, buzz off."
I comply to his demands and try getting a bit further from the auction house.
People these days. And yeah, you do. So what do you do now? The crowd kind of seems to be still milling about. Some of them are still unhappy. There's peoples of all sorts of races over here. You see people from high backgrounds, you see people of low backgrounds, everything in between.
They have made clear at what time specifically the auction will take place.
You didn't hear the auctioneer say it specifically, but can you roll a careful for me, please, actually? Careful basically means taking stock of your surroundings. That's why I'm making you roll it so much, because it fits in the circumstance. Oh my god. Yeah, you hear it's about 1 p.m. and you hear someone say, "Oh, the auction is going to take place at 7 p.m. What am I supposed to do until then?" So yeah, the auction will take place at 7 p.m. And it is 1 p.m. right now.
So, knowing I have 6 hours of free time, essentially, I get back to the inn and sit in a table.
Okay. How about we move on a little bit from you and introduce some of our other characters in the meanwhile. Let's go. DoomGoblin and Skoll, would you say your characters are together or separate?
Yeah, we're probably like sitting in the tavern.
Yeah, they're probably together because he's like, you know, the bodyguard basically to this guy. He's like the only crew member. So
Okay, let me just add one moment. I'll take care of all the GM stuff in the during editing. Sorry, just adding the salty sailor background because I imagine that's the tavern you guys will be hanging out at.
Yeah.
So you're hanging out at this tavern. Are you just hanging out? Are you telling stories? What are you doing? You see that the tavern is very, very crowded from all sorts of people.
Yeah, I'm probably like drinking and being confused about all these people. You know, like, why is there so many people right now here? Hey, bud.
Maybe they're holding a party.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Why no invite Buhd?
Oh, I'm sure they would invite you.
Can you
Buhd want cake.
Oh well.
can you guys both roll for me a careful, please? A careful roll.
Yeah. So my careful is +2, right?
Yeah, yeah. All of your carefuls are 2, actually, funnily enough.
Oh, I didn't do it right.
/ roll for DF plus. Oh my god.
Six.
Yeah. Bladebeard, you notice that people seem kind of tense for a party. And you, Bud, also notice that. Bladebeard, you also hear them talking about something about an auction and some artifact or something or another. It's quite a lot of voices, but you can't exactly hear. You know that there's apparently some kind of auction going on. But you know that people seem kind of angry for a party, but you're not sure why.
This angry party. You know, like.
I don't know. I hear people are talking about some kind of artifact. Bud, have you heard anything about some kind of auction?
Maybe a gift for Buhd.
Maybe. I doubt it though. I better ask the bartender. He probably knows what's going on.
Get
around
Buhd
here.
drink.
All right. I'm going to walk to the bar.
Okay. There's the innkeeper. The innkeeper seems really, really overworked. There's a lot of people asking for drinks, and he's barely keeping up. And he sort of says, yeah, what do you want? What do you want? What do you have?
2 bottles of rum.
Sure. 4, no, 5 silver. 5 silver, yeah.
Here's a gold piece.
You give him a gold piece.
Yeah.
His eyes go really, really wide. And he sort of stops what he's doing and sort of
I have a question.
leans in and he's all ears.
So I hear people are talking about some kind of auction here in town. Do you know anything about this?
Huh? It's been a talk in the town for days on end. Where have you been?
Well, drinking mostly.
I'm not surprised. Oh, there's people saying that there's an artifact or something going on, and that the auction house is selling it. I'm not really sure why there's been so many people coming in and out. Some of them seem like the sort of unsavory kind. How should I say this? There's this weird bird man that keeps asking me questions, and he creeps me out. There's this troll lady. There's a bunch of horde soldiers.
Wait. A troll lady. Do you know the name maybe?
She said she's priestess, whatever or another. Look, I have a lot of people on my butt right now. I can't. She said she was a priestess or something.
Do you know where could I find her?
Well, I actually heard she got kicked out because, Gurubashi trolls aren't allowed in town. But that's what I heard. There's a bunch of Horde and Alliance soldiers. I really hope they don't come face to face with one another. And I'm just really overworked. But sorry, that's all I know.
Thank you, mate.
He holds the gold piece you gave him and says, that you're a really big spender, and I'm sorry that I couldn't bring you more for your buck. Have another round of drinks on me, I guess.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the drinks and bring them back to our table.
Yeah, if you hold on just for a quick second, I need to check something. Yeah, never mind. Actually, can you roll also a careful check for me, please?
Careful again.
Yeah.
+2.
Okay. No, you don't notice it. You willfully go back to your table with your first mate.
Alright, here's the drinks.
But drink it.
So, Bud, I heard there is a troll lady in town.
She pretty?
Sorry.
Probably not. Well, I think we should find her. Could be Zugalga. The witch.
But make new friend.
I will mention, Doom, that the innkeeper did tell you that that he thinks that the troll lady was kicked out of the town.
Oh, she was kicked out of the town.
Yeah, because Gurubashi trolls aren't really allowed here because they kind of try to eat people.
So, Bud, I see there is many new people here in the tavern. Maybe I'll try, get some extra coins.
Get gold for Bud.
Yeah, no. Would you like to help me in some way? Distract someone?
Bud do distraction?
Yeah. Make some kind of distraction and I will, pickpocket someone.
Oh, Jesus.
Bud pick up table and throw.
Okay.
Do people seem distracted by his act?
Do you actually pick up the table and throw it?
Yes, but Bud does exactly that. He picks up a table and just chucks it.
Okay.
It's happening at the same time as I'm in the inn.
Let's say you would be just coming into the inn. You'd be at the entrance. They would be somewhere further in. Okay. Everyone in the tavern suddenly stops what they're doing, and they all turn to look at you, kind of shocked. One bruiser comes to your table. Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Bud distract.
As he's
What?
talking to the bruiser, I'm going to try to, find somebody who looks pretty distracted.
The bruiser is going to roll his careful because Bud just told him that he's distracting for someone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he notices. He saw you that you were at the table and that you're kind of leaving, and he says, "Hey, you, stop!" And he runs towards you.
I was sorry for my friend. He's really drunk. Yeah, we mean no trouble.
As he comes up to you, he recognizes who you are because you are a member of the Blackwater Raiders. You are a local, unlike some of the foreigners here, and he looks at you sort of quizzically and says, "What the hell do you think you're doing, Bladebeard? You know how overworked we are with all these strangers in town."
My ship got stolen recently, and
Yeah, we know you can't shut up about your damn ship and about some stupid troll lady. We know.
well, I need to make a living before I get my shift back, and there's a lot of new people here. I thought,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. All of a sudden, you hear the innkeeper yell out, "Hey, Bruiser! This guy's trying to steal my coin!" Um, the Bruiser gives you a look, sort of don't try anything, and then he runs after the innkeeper. The destruction Buhd caused definitely provoked a distraction, just not for you. Okay, so he's run off to the innkeeper. What do you do? Mr. Blood Oath, you also noticed this entire scene play out. But practically everyone noticed. Everyone was looking at the ogre, the bruiser, and the dwarf talking to them. And now they're looking at the innkeeper because someone just tried to rob the innkeeper.
I'm kind of in shock, but I'm actually very interested in seeing what's going to happen, because I don't see this type of entertainment every day.
All right. Mr. Dwarf and Mr. Ogre, do you do anything?
I don't know. Let's just continue drinking.
I mean, has been Buhd told to stop distracting? Because he's probably still doing something like throwing drinks around, and
Oh my god.
But
because he was told to distract. So
Okay.
stop. Put the table back.
Can you do a careful roll for me, Buhd? If did it go
Slash roll.
I copied and pasted the wrong thing. Hold on.
Yeah, one of the mugs you throw accidentally hits another bruiser. Well, maybe not accidentally, maybe you threw it on purpose.
He threw it on purpose.
And he runs towards you as well. You didn't hit him hard enough to knock him out. He runs towards you really, really pissed off. What the hell do you think you're doing, you dumb ogre?
But it's distracting.
Yeah, you're gonna distract with me in jail. And he's going to try to attack you.
Can I step in between them?
Yeah, Bladebeard and Buhd and the Bruiser are part of this scene, and maybe the Blood Oath too, if he wants to intervene or not. That's entirely up to him. Now,
I'm just observing for now.
okay. Now, the Bruiser's quick, because initiative is basically based on your quick stat. The Bruiser's quick is 2. You and Buhd both have a quickness of 1. So basically, the Bruiser is going to go first in this order, and then either Bladebeard or Buhd, you guys decide among yourselves, practically. All right.
All right.
All right. The Bruiser is going to try to attack Buhd because Buhd just threw a mug at him, and he's really, really pissed off. He's overworked. He's underpaid. And he is just basically trying to throw his anger out on someone. Okay. How do you defend against this, Buhd?
Do I do a roll, or do I just do a thing?
First, tell me how you plan to defend against him, and depending on how you do that, I'll tell you which one of your stats to roll to oppose him.
Buhd picks up a chair and tries to hit the goblin when he's darting him.
Okay, that would be a forceful roll. A forceful roll or a flashy roll, depending if you're still trying to distract. So roll forceful or flashy.
A flashy roll?
Either of, depending if you're still thinking, oh, I'm still distracting, or if you're just fighting this bruiser.
Alright, I guess that'd be forceful.
Yeah, then roll a forceful roll, please. Yeah, he does 1 point of damage to you, so already, I don't know, 30 minutes in, it's already our first combat. So, probably check in your first stress box. I don't think you want to take a consequence just yet.
Stress box.
Yeah, it's on your character sheet at the very bottom, the stress box for 1 because he dealt 1 point of damage to you. Unless
Okay.
you want to spend some of your fate points to mitigate that damage, but I don't think it's necessarily worth it for just
Yeah.
one bruiser.
All right.
All right, now it's either Bladebeard's or Bud's turn. You guys decide. Bud, you do know that this guy just hit you with a mace and it hurt a little.
You hurt Bud. Bud pissed.
Can I go first, Bud?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you guys talking in character?
Are you asking in character, or you asking Bud?
I'm asking you, Skoll. Can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to step in between them, and I'm like,
Okay.
I'm sorry, officer. This was a big misunderstanding. Bud, he doesn't like big crowds, and today, city is unusually crowded. He gets angry. He gets nervous.
Okay.
I know you are also stressed. City is not usually this chaotic.
Okay.
Can we just just go our ways, separate ways?
Well, I'm still going to treat
Forget
this.
about it.
I'm still going to treat this as combat. It's just that you're making sort of a psychological attack on him, so to say. At first, he sort of seems shocked that there's another person there. Based on your approach, since you're sort of trying to diffuse the situation, I would say this would be a careful roll on your part.
All right.
On Bladebeard's part, not on Bud's part. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
never mind. I thought I saw something else. So, okay.
1.
And he's going to roll to oppose you, basically. Let me just check something on this NPC's character list. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he does not back down. In fact, he seems kind of infuriated at you. Bud, it's your turn.
All right, Bud's gonna try to pick up the goblin and shake him a little bit. Then
Oh God. This
is that forceful?
it's either forceful or flashy. I'm going to let you decide.
I guess it'd be more flashy than forceful. I don't know.
Maybe.
What?
This was your opportunity to pick your highest stat, basically. Your highest stat.
All right,
1 or 2.
that'd be forceful then. That'd be forceful.
Okay, please roll your forceful. Okay, and he's going to roll to oppose. Oh my God. You pick him up and you scare the living hell out of him. You basically knock him out of the combat, and you sort of dictate what happens to this guy right now. So
Leave Bud alone. And Bud just kind of, after he's done shaking him, he's used to doing this sort of stuff. So he kind of just puts the goblin down a little gently, not throw him, but he is mad, so he just kind of throws him down.
sorry. And he's going to try to run away. Do you guys let him run away?
Bud lets him run. Bud thinks he just wanted him to leave him alone. So
Okay.
Bud, show him.
Yeah, I let him go.
Okay. This bruiser runs by this mysterious blood elf in the doorway. Does the mysterious blood elf do anything? The bruiser's way too distracted to notice him.
I try not to look his way, but shift my attention to these strange two personalities that just made this weird scene in the middle of the inn.
Yeah, and at that point, one of the other tavern goers sort of says, "Hey, good job! The bruisers were all giving us a bit of trouble." This little guy right here. And he yells to the barkeep, "A drink for my buds over here." The barkeep is busy arguing with the person who robbed him, but the bruiser is kind of handling him, so he sort of nods his head towards this goblin, but he's still busy with his own thing. What do you guys do at this goblin's reaction?
There are more than one Bud.
No, he means you. Yeah. Thank you for the drinks, mate. We should be beating up officers more often.
Bud should beat more.
No. Just sit down.
Yeah,
Bud
and
beat better.
And this goblin will sort of start approaching you guys, and he'll you flipped your table, so he doesn't have a table to sit at, so he'll just sort of look around, and then sorry.
I'm going to try to put the table back.
You good Samaritan. All right. While you do that, he looks up at Bud and says, "Hey, nice job, big guy. Nice job."
Bud do good.
Yeah, sure. And you, dwarf person, and he sort of notices that you have... Does he notice that you have knives in your beard, or are they more hidden?
Let's say they are hidden.
Okay, then he doesn't notice it. And then, so he turns to you, Bladebeard, and says, and you too. I have no idea what you guys were trying to do, but nice job out there. These bruisers are all a pain in the ass.
Bud hate assholes.
Yeah, he does. Thank you for the drinks.
I'm just going to take a quick drink of water, sorry. Out of character.
Speaking of drinks, Bud is drinking his alcohol now.
Do you still have your alcohol after you flipped your table?
I mean, the new drinks. The other drink he lost because he flipped it.
Oh, the new
But,
drinks haven't arrived yet. This
okay.
goblin ordered it, but yeah. He sort of, if you put the table back in place and the chairs as well, he sort of sits next to you and says, "So, what's your guys' story? What are you guys doing here?"
Drinking, getting into trouble.
Bud having party.
Yeah, Bud is having a party.
Yeah, and at this point, the drinks arrive, and Bud starts drinking his, and he keeps drinking. It's a really big tankard, and he'll decide when he comes back.
Yes.
The goblin seems kind of impressed by Bud drinking so much, and sort of turns to you, Mr. Bladebeard, and says, "You guys local, or are you here because, you know?"
We are locals. You know, I just heard about this artifact auction thing today.
Yeah, crazy thing, you know, crazy. I'm
What's
actually...
your story?
Oh, I'm just, nobody really. I'm just a traveling merchant. I came to Buhd Bay a few weeks ago, and I'm looking for an interesting opportunity. Now, would you guys be interested in, sort of, a protection job?
Depends on how much you're paying.
Right, of course. Well, let's just say that I have a bit of a stake in what's going on in town right now, and I can get you a small share of the profits.
Would I have been able to hear this, or would I need to be closer?
Please roll a careful roll for me. And this little fella, let me just put out his character sheet for a little bit. Where is it? Yeah, this fellow, okay, he's going to roll his sneaky to oppose you. Yeah, you have not heard a thing, basically. just see that this goblin that ordered drinks for them is now sitting at the table with them.
Can I try getting closer to them?
You certainly can. The bruiser is there were two bruisers in the entire tavern. One of them ran out. The other one is arguing with the person who tried to rob the innkeeper. So there aren't really people like keeping an eye out. Well, except for the other tavern goers.
So I essentially try getting as close to them as possible and sticking to the wall so I don't stand out too much.
Okay. This goblin. This goblin is going. Actually, I don't know if he has a reason to be suspicious.
Would there have been more blood elves in the inn, or am I the only
There's
one?
peoples of all sorts of races, even ones that you never could have possibly imagined before, practically.
Okay.
So you're not unusual, not by any means. Still, the goblin is still pretty careful. He doesn't roll, but he sort of leans into Mr. Bladebeard while Buhd is still drinking his tabard. And he says,
You're talking about the job.
Yeah. Basically, we're looking for protection for the auction that's going to happen this evening. Are you interested in that? Lots of different characters here, it can be a bit dangerous, but the pay will be good. I can promise you that.
What do you think, Buhd?
I imagine
I
Buhd
see.
is still drinking. Maybe he takes a pause to belch, and then he goes back to drinking. Buhd seems a bit indifferent to your conundrum.
Yeah, So, you want us to protect this artifact?
Oh no, not the artifact per se. The auction is what I mean.
I don't see why not. How much exactly are you paying?
Well, I was thinking, for you and the big fellow right here, I could go for like a 2% of the profits. Before we go any further, I'd like this goblin to roll his sneaky, and you, Bladebeard, will also roll your sneaky, and the mysterious blood elf will roll his careful to see if he understands what's going on. Okay?
Alright, my sneaky is +3, right? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. 4df plus 3. Oh my god, this, my little guy... Yeah, Mysterious Blood Elf, you can hear pretty much everything that's going on. Maybe not every word exactly, but you get the gist of what's going on.
Okay.
Mysterious Blood Elf.
So I keep listening in on what they're talking about and try to understand what they're negotiating.
Yeah.
So, 2%, right?
Yeah. Doom, can you roll a careful for me? And he's going to... No, just roll careful for me. The difficulty will be 2 for this. So if you get a 2 or higher, which is pretty easy, you'll learn something.
That's +2, right?
Yeah, your careful is 2, yeah.
2.
You realize that 2% is a very, very small sum.
Can we negotiate, maybe a bit more? There's a lot of people,
I don't know. I mean, it is
seems like a pretty hard job. There's gonna be a lot of people. Buhd is big, but he's,
And at this point, Buhd, unless he stops, he's still drinking his tankard. And the goblin will say, "Oh, but this artifact this item is going to sell for a lot, and I think 2% is more than fair. If you want, Bladebeard, we can sort of turn this into a negotiating conflict. So basically, he's going to roll his sneaky, and you'll be rolling your careful to see if you manage to talk him up from 2%. If you agree, you can just take the 2% if you want.
From earlier.
I'll try.
So from earlier, when he noticed that 2% was little, was that objectively a low pay?
Yeah. Bodyguards are usually
So from being a mercenary, would I be able to assume the full price of the artifact from that information?
Oh,
Well, roll for me a careful, please. You also notice that this goblin is trying to undercut Bladebeard. He's not an honest goblin. So you're not really certain whether the artifact is really that pricey or not.
Okay.
So, did you roll already Bladebeard, or did you not?
I haven't.
Okay.
No.
So, are you going to negotiate the price with him?
Yeah.
Okay, so then roll your careful, and I'm going to roll his sneaky. Yeah. Yeah,
So-
he convinces you that 2% is more than fair. And this artifact is going to fetch a lot of money.
Alright, so, yeah, we're in.
And you also do not notice that he said 2% for both of you and not individually. You do not notice that. Sorry.
So, when do we start? Can we, take a look at the artifact?
No. This is just basically guarding the place when the auction is gonna start. So the auction is gonna start at 7 p.m. Right now it's about 1:30 p.m. So at about 6 p.m., please just show up at the auction house and I'll let you in on what to do.
Alright, who do we ask for? What's your name?
Just say the Weasel.
The Weasel. Captain Bladebeard. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too, champ. He will then look at the ogre, and I assume the ogre is still drinking. The goblin will shake his head incredulously and will start to walk off unless someone stops him.
I won't stop him.
Okay. Let me just take a look at your character sheets for a little bit. Yeah.
Oi, Bud. We have a job.
Buhd continues to drink. And at that point, I would like to offer this mysterious blood oath a compel. So what this means is that I am going to propose a scenario that's going to happen based on one of your aspects. The scenario will probably not be directly advantageous to you. And you can accept, and you will receive a fate point. Or you can refuse and you'll have to give me one of your fate points. But I would like to compel your adept in the arcane arts and say that someone in this tavern notices that you are disguised.
So I know that they noticed
No,
me?
you do not know. This is addressed to you, the player.
Okay. I'll go with it, I guess.
Okay, and here is a shiny reroll point, and I'll just get another one here. Basically, these my fate points refresh every time. They are only finite during combat, basically. So I can give you however many fate points I want. So that's what's going to happen. Mysterious Blood Oath, you notice a familiar, well, not familiar, never mind. First off, this little goblin over here is going to exit the tavern. Does anyone do anything to stop him?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. I'm just going to remove him. And this person comes into the tavern, dressed exactly like you see her, and having the face exactly like that. And
Would she stand out in the crowd?
she enters the tavern at first, and then she stops, looks around, and then looks directly at you, Mr. Bloodoath. And she starts walking towards you, maintaining a very stern gaze.
Is it crowded enough that I can try to blend into the crowd and try going around her to leave the tavern?
Yes, but I would like to have you roll for that. So let me... And she's going to roll her careful on that note. Let me just find her character sheet. Yeah. Roll for DF plus... What's her careful? She's not very careful. Yeah, and roll your sneaky, please. She still sees you, and in fact, unless you want to spend a fate point, and you can somehow justify spending a fate point.
No, I won't.
Okay. She sees you and walks even more briskly towards you, and as she reaches you, she grabs your arm, and she says, You're a member of the Alliance as well, are you not? Why are you disguising yourself?
I try looking around for an escape, but
She has grabbed your arm. And she is a very not subtle person, and people are starting to look your direction.
I try getting her to lower her voice. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, what do you say to her?
I say, I look around me and then turn to her and say, do you know where we are? This is Buhd Bay. I'm in danger. Please stop.
She says, Of course I know where we are. How dare you? I am a special agent of the Kirin Tor, and I am here in this light-forsaken place on a special assignment. Now, you have not answered my question. She is very, very loud.
Do you hear that?
Yeah,
No.
you definitely hear that, and more people are starting to turn your direction. Not the bruiser yet, he's still busy with the person who tried to rob the innkeeper, but yeah, this interaction is starting to garner attention.
At this point, I'm just shocked and turn to her and say, do I know you?
I am Archmage Meridia Frostfoe of the Kirin Tor, and I am here on a special assignment.
What's that got? Does that got anything to do with me?
Yes, you are disguising yourself, so maybe you are related to my assignment. What is your business here, human?
For a second, I'm like shocked that she knows my true form, not just the fact that I'm disguised. And I try calming her down and tell her that if I show my real form, I'll be in danger.
She sort of scoffs and looks at the random batch of various characters that are strewn around here. A mage of your ability should be able to handle yourself in this den of impropriety.
I probably in a futile way, I try to calm her down again and ask her if we can speak outside.
She is going to look at you. Can you roll your careful for me, please? And she's going to roll her flashy to sort of oppose you. Oh my, yeah, you convince her. She says, Very well. And she, still holding your hand very, very roughly, starts dragging you outside. It is very, very noticeable to everyone in the tavern.
Does anyone follow us? Or
Yeah, I'm going to say to Bud, "Hey, Bud, did you hearing Thor? They are those fancy folk from that flying city, right? She must have a lot of money."
Bud is, unless he has somehow come back to his senses, Bud is going to stop drinking for a bit, belch, finish his drink, and then pick up the next tankard to drink.
All right, Bud, here's the plan. You're not in the plan. I'm going alone this.
Bud like being in plan, no.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Hi, Skoll.
Here's the part of the plan that
I just got
that you.
some pizza done.
Sorry?
Okay, Bud.
I just
You-
ate my pizza.
Basically, what happened while you were gone is Bladebeard was a very, very poor negotiator and agreed that you two would be bodyguards for the auction for a very low rate. And you also saw what appears to be an archmage of the Kirin Tor interrogate a blood elf and say that he's a human or something, and then drag him outside.
I thought of that. I remember I was here for that part.
Oh,
the
sorry,
whole
sorry.
interrogation thing.
Sorry.
No, you're good. No, you didn't know that. I was just gonna say that.
Bud, here's the plan. You stay here and drink, all right?
Bud get drunk. Bud puke all over.
Yeah, good. I'm going to sneakily follow the mage woman.
You no good at sneak.
Well, you will not be the only one trying to follow these people outside. So I'm going to ask you, Bladebeard, to roll your sneaky, and then some other character is going to roll their sneaky, and then I would like Mr. Maybe Blood Elf to roll his careful. And just let me find the character sheet. Yeah.
Plus 3, right? 4.
Yeah, the mysterious individual and you, Mr. Bladebeard, follow the Blood Oath, and they are and you are completely unaware, Mr. Blood Oath, of what happened. Bladebeard, can you give me also your own careful roll?
Oh,
Just so I can see if you notice this mysterious individual. No, you do not notice. Alright, so everyone is moving outside, right? Just so I know if I can change the scene.
for Bud.
Sorry?
Yeah, Bud's still drinking apparently.
Yeah, well, unless he decides to also go outside for some reason.
He's gonna keep drinking for now, unless Captain calls for him.
Okay.
Right.
Alright, let me just very, very quickly try to change the scene. La-di-da. Okay. And this lovely person is still here. And she's dragged you outside. The streets are still really, really crowded. But at least nobody, presumably, knows what happened in the nonsense in the tavern. So, do you sort of tell her where you want to go, or do you let her lead you? Or are you or maybe do something else entirely?
First off, do I sense any romantic intent by the hand holding?
No, she
I'm joking.
she has you caught by the, not by the hand, by the arm, very, very firmly, like a parent scolding their child.
Oh, that's a shame.
You can
So-
you can try to flirt with her.
No, I'm good. So now that we're outside, I kind of stop being quiet and just get a bit angry and go like,
The streets are still
"The-"
crowded, by the way.
Yeah, but it's outside, so it's more noisy, I
Okay.
guess. So I get a bit more angry and say, I have no idea who the hell you are and what you're about. I'm not a mage.
You most obviously are. Why else would you disguise yourself as a blood elf?
Again, I keep
Well, Howarth,
hiding
rather. Sorry.
the fact that I may have some magical capabilities, but I essentially reach for my bag and show her my orb of deception.
Where did you find something like that?
I bought it.
She looks at you, narrows her eyes, and says, "What is your business in this town? You would not be disguised if you were here on legitimate business."
I am here on legitimate business, but there are a couple of people here not on legitimate business, and I'd rather not get killed.
Who sent you? She is still loud. Obviously, since it's the streets, not as many people notice, but she's still loud.
I would rather keep my client confidential.
She.
Employer.
So you're working for what? A criminal syndicate? She has a very unhappy look at you on her face. I'm going to have to take you with me.
At this point, I'm getting a bit frustrated, and just tell her. And I just tell her clearly, I am not working for any criminal, and that my employer is actually a noble. And wherever she wants to go, I'm not going.
She sort of softens a little bit when you mention a noble, but when you say that you're not going where she wants to go, she sort of continues to hold your arm very firmly, and says, "I was sent by the Kirin Tor to investigate rumors about a magical artifact that caused some sort of catastrophe in the middle of Strangleform Bay. And you, my good sir, are a very suspicious individual right now. Now, are you going to tell me what your relationship is to this artifact that everyone is talking about? Or are you just going to be a nuisance?"
I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what it does. I just know that I have to get it and get it back to that noble.
You also notice that some heads are starting to turn to your conversation when she mentions an artifact.
My arm, please. Can I get it back?
She looks at you and can you roll for me a careful check? And she's going to roll her sneaky on something. Let me just look her character sheet up again. Okay. Did you roll your careful?
Yeah.
She tries to put a small detection spell on you, which would basically tell her wherever you are at all times. But she's trying to be subtle and clearly failing. She does not realize that she's failing. What do you do?
Do I notice that she did it?
You notice that she's doing it right now. She hasn't done it yet. She's doing it at the very moment. She has not noticed that you have noticed.
She stopped holding me, right?
She's still holding you. Basically, what's happening is she's putting a mark on you through the hand that's holding your arm.
Okay, so basically I try pushing my arm away from her.
I'm going to make a roll 20. If it's 10 or above, you pull your arm back in time. If it's below 10, she managed to put the mark on you. All right?
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely roll your arm in time. She is actually kind of surprised because that high of a roll means that she hasn't even properly started casting the spell yet. She now thinks that you're a very, very powerful mage for noticing that, even though it wasn't that difficult to notice.
Uh,
And she sort of stares wide-eyed at you without saying anything.
again, I'm even more frustrated right now since I noticed she was trying to cast some sort of spell on me, and I tell her very clearly, please leave me alone. I don't want any trouble.
I am on a special assignment by the Kirin Tor. If you are somehow involved in what is going on in this sludge pit, you will regret it.
Okay, fine, I guess.
Alright, she sort of defeated, turns back and goes into the tavern. Well, she was going there anyway and she was distracted by you. Would she... I don't think she would notice you, Mr. Bladebeard, or care to notice, or the mysterious figure that I rolled for earlier. So what do you guys do now?
Yeah, can I try as she's going back into the tavern? Like, well, she's like entering, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like going out and I like act like I'm.
Based on your role, you left earlier and you heard the entire conversation.
Oh, so I'm outside.
Yeah,
Right.
because of your role earlier, yeah.
So as she is going back to the tavern, I'm like just walking down the street and I like bump into her, and as I'm
She looks down at you, says, "Ugh," and keeps walking.
can I well I'm bumping into her. Can I try to, take whatever she had on her, like
Yes,
anything?
roll a sneaky, and she's going to roll a
And
careful.
I also use my stunt,
What's your stunt again?
smooth criminal. Because I'm a thief, I get +2 when I'm sneakily trying
Yes,
something.
yes.
So I get +5 for this.
Pretty much. Oh my god.
Um,
She's very, very careless. She's kind of infuriated right now. Oh my. Yeah, you could practically steal the clothes off her back with that roll. So I can practically give you sort of a very clear picture of your inventory, and you can pick and choose whatever you want practically with those rolls.
all right.
So here she has a magical wand. Well, you assume it's magical. It looks like a wand. She has an orb on her. She has the clothes on her back, and about 50 gold.
So I can pick one of those.
You can practically take all of those. Oh my! With that roll.
Let's say I take the gold and the ball.
All right. She is not going to be happy about that. Okay.
And I'm just like, sorry, Les. And I walk
Yeah,
walk
like
away.
I said, she scoffed at you and then went back into the tavern. Mr. Blood Oath / human, you... Well, roll your careful, so let's see if you notice this sleight of hand that happened. Basically...
Also,
Sorry?
do I lose a fate point or
No,
you know,
the stunts do not cost fate points. Yeah, Mr. Blood Oath / human, you do not notice that this dwarf pretty much just robbed this archmage.
Do I recognize him from the inn? Is he close enough?
Yeah, I don't think you... well, practically he heard your entire conversation, so yeah, he is close enough. Well, if you like, if Bladebeard chooses to allow himself to be recognized.
I'm I don't know. I'll just keep walking and try to like hide somewhere between two buildings.
Okay, roll, Bladebeard, please roll your sneaky, and Mr. Blood Oath / human, please roll your careful. Oh my
Oh,
god.
6.
Yeah, you don't notice anything at all, Mr. Blood Elf / human.
So I, not noticing him, I just get back inside the inn. And
You saw the Archmage also go inside the inn, by the way.
oh, then I'll refrain from entering.
All right. At this point, I would like to go back into the inn a little bit, if you indulge me, and focus a little bit on our good friend Buhd.
Yeah.
Let me just find, where is it? There's the background. All right, Buhd, what are you doing right now?
Bud is probably done drinking the drinks that were offered and is probably bored out of his mind, just looking around aimlessly.
Yeah. At that point, let me just find it. The NPC. Yeah, there it is. A goblin approaches you and says, "Hey, Buhd.
What goblin want with Bud?
The Baron wants you. Go get Bladebeard."
Oh, me go get Beard.
Yeah, the Baron asked for you. Hurry up. You don't want to keep him waiting.
Bud go as fast as Bud can.
And do you go?
Yeah, Bud's going.
Yeah.
He's a little drunk, so he's a little he's bumping into people and things, and
Yeah, everyone pretty much gives you a wide berth as you go because you started an incident at the tavern and most people rather don't want to mess with you. All right, you're now back on the streets and you also see the Archmage going into the tavern, Buhd, as you're leaving. Exactly at the entrance. What do you do anything?
Bud basically does almost a cat call and
Oh my god.
goes, pretty lady.
She's going to look at you and say, "Ugh, if she basically looks ready to throw frostbolt at you, but she refrains and continues moving into the tavern."
My pretty lady.
All right. So unless everyone stops her, you're now into the streets once again. You do not see Bladebeard anywhere, but you do see the Blood Elf / human person thingy in the street.
You see Bladebeard.
You would not know who Bladebeard is.
I look at this massive ogre in confusion and I just go, who?
He appeared with blades. He captain. You see him?
Did I actually see? Did I actually notice Bladebeard?
No. But Bladebeard can intervene into the scene whenever he wants, if he wants.
Before I show myself, I'm going to inspect the ball. Do I like it?
You inspect the orb that you took from the Archmage, and it looks like a ball to you. Unfortunately, you are not proficient in magic at all, so you have no idea what it is.
How large is it?
It fits into your hand. It's a bit big because you're a dwarf and she's a human, but it fits into your hand practically.
Isn't the dwarven hand bigger than a human?
Oh, then maybe it fits into your hand quite snugly.
I'm going to like put it in my pocket, and as I notice Buhd was outside, I'm going to join him. Hey Buhd, I'm here.
Goblin, yell at Bud. Tell him that Baron need us.
Baron needs us. All right. When do we need to meet him?
So
Immediately.
I like clear my throat to try to get their attention since I'm just standing next to them and they're just talking.
What do you want?
Pretty boy want.
He's still disguised as a blood elf.
Yeah.
Pretty boy.
So I kind of look at the two of them and again in a low voice say, "I heard you were taking a job guarding the auction house, right?"
Don't remember that.
No, me neither.
What was drinking?
Yeah, I was also just drinking. No job. Nope.
What was drinking for, though?
Mr. Bloodoff, you clearly heard that conversation. So you know they're
Yeah,
lying.
since I'm still a bit frustrated from the previous conversation, I just don't have time to deal with them, and just state clearly, I was there, I heard it, no need to lie.
I get it. You want in, right? You want the job as well.
I was actually gonna propose something else.
What?
So I'm working for this noble, and if you two manage to get me in, and if I get the artifact, I'll split 40% of the reward with the both of you.
40%.
More than 20.
Yeah,
It's 2%
that's more.
actually, not 20.
More than 2, right? Noble, huh? What kind of noble?
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Noble or skinny noble?
Well, you know what? Let's pick somewhere less crowded.
Lead the way.
Can we find like a alley that's like empty?
Alright, you guys talk. I'll just look to see if I have a background for like a back alley or something. I don't know if I prepared it. Yeah, I have one. I have one
Oh,
ready. Will all of you... Are you like being careful not to be followed, or are you just too focused on that?
Let's say I'm not careful.
Okay. Mr. Bloodoff, are you careful?
I'd say I'm careful in a way that I don't seem suspicious. Like I just walk normally, as if nothing of note is happening, I guess.
Okay. I would like you to roll a careful roll, and I'm going to roll a sneaky to oppose you practically. Actually, you have no way of beating that roll, so you don't really need to bother. Yeah, you don't notice that something is following you. You do not notice.
That's kind of worrisome.
Alright, Blood Elf. I don't know. I don't really work with the horde, so. But you know, I like the money.
I will mention, Mr. Bladebeard, that the Archmage did call this Blood Oath a human. You do know
And
that.
yeah. I just assume she. I don't
She's
know.
crazy.
Yeah, she's just blind.
So, Blood Elf. I don't know. You know, you're working for the horde, right? Or noble.
Not necessarily, but just hear me out. So you guys are working as guards for the auction house, right?
Aye.
So since you're guards, you should have free reign in and around the auction house, right?
I should mention to Bladebeard that the Weasel guy said that you should show up at an hour before the auction and not earlier.
Yeah. I remember. I don't know. We are just supposed to guard, but I can get inside probably.
So the idea would be maybe you guys find a side or back entrance, get me in, we'd get the artifacts, and we'd bail.
What do you think, Bud?
A lot of sneaking. No smashing.
Yeah, but
I would assume there would be other bruisers to take care of, so it's
Speaking of
distraction.
which, because of the roll that I just made, a bruiser shows up at the scene. He doesn't seem focused on Mr. Bloodoath, not at first anyway, but he yells to Bladebeard and Buhd. Bladebeard, Buhd, the Baron asked for you. What the hell do you think you're doing?
yeah, we are coming. We are coming.
Who's this guy?
He is uh, what?
He help.
Yeah, he's a help.
He
Help.
part of now.
Yeah, he's a new member of my crew.
I am, yes.
His name is Twinkles.
Twinkles.
Yeah.
Can you
Royal.
Can you roll your sneaky for me? I'm going to roll his careful.
Who?
You Bladebeard, because
Uh,
you're the one who said most of the lying stuff.
Yeah.
This bruiser would believe that a blood elf named Twinkle exists. It's rather, does he believe Bladebeard?
So my careful is to like
No, you're sneaky. Sneaky.
sneaky. So I'm sorry.
Because you're lying to this guy.
1.
A tie. Okay.
Can I use my fate point to
Invoke if you can choose an aspect to invoke and you can justify it. Yeah.
Yeah, so my stories are too good to be true because there ain't.
Yeah, that definitely fits, and that brings you up to a 3. Now, I'm going to let me take a look. Yeah, I'm also going to invoke one of their aspects, which basically brings me up to a 3. So now you're tied again. Now, before we go any further, if you are tied, in this circumstance, if you do not do anything else, it would mean that you would manage to convince him, but at a cost. Something else would happen.
Something else like
Something that's probably not advantageous to you.
I don't know, like what? So
I cannot tell you that.
yeah. So does it have to be something involving my lie or?
No. Basically, it means he believes you. You succeed in that. But something else that is probably disadvantageous to you guys is also going to happen.
Can I help him trying to convince him that's actually my name?
You could, but that you were supposed. Well, thing is, you're kind of supposed to say that before the roll. But I will
Yeah.
allow it since it's our first time playing and maybe didn't explain that properly.
Can I kind of try to magically convince him, or like?
Yeah, and in mechanics terms, that would add a +1 score to Bladebeard's score, which would put him 1 over. So nothing
Yeah.
really bad is going to happen, if you guys are down with that.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Baron is want to see us. We have to hurry. Let's go.
Yeah. He's going to look a little bit at the blood oath. He sort of remembers what the crazy archmage lady said, but he also believes that she's crazy. So he said, "Don't know if the Baron will like suspicious newcomers at his meeting, but
He doesn't need to go to the meeting. He can wait outside.
all right." Then he starts to lead the way back towards the Salty Sailor Tavern. If you follow him,
We follow him.
do you all follow him?
Is he going back to the tavern?
Well, yeah, because to reach the meeting place of the Baron, you have to go through the tavern.
Okay, then I follow them.
Alright, Twinkles, we'll talk later. You buy us around. We'll meet here. Alright?
As you reach the tavern, you notice the female archmage. She notices you and scowls at you but doesn't say anything. And now you, and this is sort of going to be the final scene before we wrap up. You are now at what's this called? What's his name? The Buhd Bay Baron, his little perch in Buhd Bay, and he's there. Baron Revelgaz, right?
Yeah.
And he is there, and where is it? And some other important Blackwater raiders are also there at this particular meeting. So, as you guys enter the room, the Baron sort of glares at you. Bladebeard, where have you been?
Sorry, ran into some trouble.
Yeah, trouble's brewing all around this damn town.
Yeah, I'm no.
I'm just going to talk normally for the Baron because his voice hurts my throat. Sorry. So, the Baron's going to sort of calm down for a little bit and say, "All right. Well, we're all in a bit of trouble, as you can see. There's this mysterious auction going around here. I'm supposed to know everything that's going on in Buhd Bay, and I don't know about the mysterious auction that's attracting hundreds of people in this town. And all sorts of people are showing up, and our bruisers can barely keep up. And most of our ships are already away on dealing with the Bloodsail Buccaneers. So we're in a bit of a pickle, everyone."
Well, if you need a ship, I can't help you there.
Yeah, I'm perfectly aware of that. He sort of says that, glaring at you, and you sort of get the impression that you've kind of approached him about a ship before, and
Yeah.
he's not particularly happy with you. So he sort of asks to the room in general. Anyone heard anything about this mysterious auction?
Not really. I just found out that it's happening.
And Fleetmaster Seahorn, that's in the middle right here, is going to say, "Well, I heard that there's a goblin involved. I heard that he snuck into Buhd Bay a few weeks ago with some magical artifact from Stranglethorn. You guys all heard that weird archmage lady in the streets, right? And
Yeah.
and Miss Catelyn of the Blade here, who's on the right, is going to say, yeah, she mentioned something about some kind of disaster in the middle of Stranglethorn." And the other two will just nod. They haven't heard of that part.
I heard of that, right?
Catelyn will sort of look at you, and then the Baron's going to say, "Well, whatever it is, I don't like it. Now, I need someone to go and find this goblin and bring him to me. I want to know what the hell is going on."
Alright. Well, a goblin, I don't know if that was the goblin, hired me to, to keep a look around his action house and, guard this artifact. So,
Everyone at the table is going to stare wide-eyed at you. Oh, except Bud, I imagine.
I was hired to keep an eye on this artifact, so I guess this guy trusts me.
What's this
I can,
goblin's name? What does he want?
His name is Weasel.
Weasel?
Yeah. I don't
Dumb
know
name.
who. Yeah. Very dumb name.
Okay.
But I just a moment ago met a guy named Twinkles. So a lot of people with weird names around here.
Twinkles? Is that what, a blood elf or something?
Yeah. A blood elf.
Fleet Master Seahorn is gonna say, "That does not surprise me. So, what did this goblin want? How did he get this artifact?"
Well, I'm going to find out.
Everyone's going at the table is going to look at each other, and Catelyn of the Blade is gonna say, "You know where he is?"
Well, I assume he is wherever this artifact is.
The Baron is gonna look at you and say, "All right, Bladebeard, bring me this goblin here, and if you somehow manage to get the artifact, we'll talk again about getting you a ship."
Oh, great. Well, that's what kind of my plan as well, you know. So, if I get this artifact, I'm going to bring it to you. Alright?
Well, who else would you bring it to? He sort
Right.
of glares half menacingly, half jokingly at you.
Yeah, right. Nothing else to report. May I go?
The Baron's gonna sigh and say, yeah, just bring me the artifact and the goblin, whichever."
Aye, sir.
Baron.
Yeah. Captain's Fleet Admiral Seahorn is gonna tip his hat to you guys, and you guys are free to leave if you so desire. And with that, this was the first session of this TTRPG that we're doing. So let's do a little
Yay.
bit of a round table. What did you guys think? As
I
players.
had fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I hate my new name, but otherwise it was pretty fun.
Twinkle Thompshire.
No,
You're gonna reference that on Twitter now.
no, please.
Yeah.
No. Well,
Go
I
ahead.
just have to say I absolutely loved Bud's voice. That's just the highlight for me.
Yeah.
I hope he will be more involved soon.
Yeah, I mean, he can be the silent protagonist. He can be more involved. It's entirely up to
Yeah,
him.
when we get to
I kind of suck at RP, so yeah, I'll get used to it. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, I did put you into a stressful situation with that archmage person.
I'll kill her later.
yeah, she no
I-
longer has her.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of it had to do with me getting pizza and all that other stuff, but I'm sure Bud will take more of an active role.
You
In the future.
are definitely a little bit drunk at the moment. And
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest, I honestly expected more to happen during this scene. During this session, I actually thought we were going to reach the auction itself. But whatever, it's all fine. It's all fine.
You can call the next session the Great Heist. So
Hey, I like heists.
Well, there's also other stuff happening in Booty Bay other than the auction itself. But yeah, I thought this went fairly well, and I appreciate you guys for interacting and handling the crazy NPCs I threw at you, especially the Archmage lady. She is going
Yeah.
to be important.
oh god, no.
I'm very glad that I stole from her.
Yeah, and there's a mysterious force going around. This blood oath human person saw Pandaren for the first time, and they're much more feathery than they thought they would be. Yeah,
The more you know.
there's a lot going on in this little busy town of Booty Bay. All right, well, I think I should all thank our viewers for watching, and I should. Let's go a little bit around this table again in sort of alphabetical order, and let each of our players plug anything they wish. Let's start with you, DoomGoblin, aka
Yeah,
Captain Bladebeard.
Yeah. Hi, I'm DoomGoblin. I'm a artist on Twitter, so you can check me there. At DoomGoblin, I draw little pictures of, mostly Warcraft stuff, but sometimes I'll draw something else. So check me out if you want.
Alright. And next we have Sir Thompshire as this mysterious blood elf slash human.
Twinkles.
Yes, Mr. Twinkles. You might be muted.
Sorry, I wasn't pushed to talk. So you can find me both on YouTube and Twitter as Sir Thompshire. I very occasionally make some machinima, and besides from that, I just do some shit posting occasionally. Yeah, follow me if you want, I guess.
And last but by no means least, the silent ogre and very drunk companion, First Mate Buhd, aka Skoll Shorties.
Hello, and I obviously I am Skoll Shorties, and you can find me on YouTube and Twitter. On YouTube, I make machinimas and also lore videos.
Alright. And me, I was your GM. My name is Teeironor. I do really niche lore videos and occasionally once in a blue moon machinima and some other type of content. But yeah, that is basically me, and that was basically our cast. You can find all of our links on screen and also in the description below. And I would like to thank you all very much for watching.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Farewell.